About the sound and screen. Hello.
Yes, sir.
Huh?
Yes, sir. Audio
Okay.
is clear.
Okay. Now see, I talked about the user mode, supervisory mode, and then IRQ mode and FIQ mode. Now there are three more modes. So the next mode I will talk about is the system mode. System mode, system mode and the user mode, they are one and the same. System mode is nothing but it's another user mode. You can call system mode as a privileged user mode. System mode means something like an admin. So as a user, if you are in the system mode, you can do lot many things. Means you can change, suppose say, if you are in the user mode, you cannot change the mode of the processor, you cannot change the state of the processor, you cannot disable or enable the interrupts. So if at all you want to do all these things as a user, then you should be a privileged user. So when you will be a privileged user, whenever you are in the system mode. So that way the system mode and the user mode, they are one and the same. The only difference is that the user mode is a non-privileged user mode and the system mode is the privileged user mode. So that is the difference. And then next thing is the which one? Undefined mode. Next one is the undefined mode. So undefined mode means what? Suppose say the processor is doing some programming or executing some program. The processor is executing some program. It comes across a situation where it will not able to find out what is to be done. What is to be done? Suppose say if you are giving instruction to the processor, then the processor must be able to decode it. And once it is decoded, then it will understand what is to be done. But sometimes the processor may come across some instructions such that it will not be able to decode it. It will not understand what is actually that instruction is. The instruction may not be related to that processor. So in that case, it will be switching from user mode. Suppose say it is in the user mode, it is executing some user task or it is executing some user program. While executing the user task or user program, it comes across a situation where it will not be able to understand an instruction or a statement. Then whenever you don't understand or whenever you don't know anything, then you say that it is undefined. Then the processor will switch from user mode to undefined mode. So that is what the situation means. As long as the processor understand everything in the user mode, it will carry out user task. But the moment a situation comes where it is not able to understand something, then it will switch over to undefined mode, indicating an error to the user that there is something wrong with the instruction, something wrong with the statement, or something wrong with the system. The mistake may be with anybody, with anything, maybe software or maybe hardware. If it is undefined, if it is not able to understand, then immediately the processor will switch from user mode to which mode? Undefined mode. Now what is the leftover mode? Can anyone of you tell me, please go through the screen, and what is the mode to be discussed now? I talked about different modes. What is the leftover mode to be talked about or to be taken up? Abort mode. Abort mode means suppose say the processor is executing some program, and while executing the user program, the user is trying to access the prohibited area or protected area. Suppose say the user program is trying to access the memory area which is protected or which is not meant for that particular user. Then in such a situation, it will switch over from user mode to abort mode. So this is what about the abort mode. So abort mode means whenever the processor is executing user related task, and if it comes across a situation where the user is trying to enter into the prohibited area or user is trying to enter into the protected area where it is not supposed to be entered, then it will give an alert to the user saying that you are trying to enter into the protected and prohibited area. So that way it will switch immediately from user mode, stop executing the user task and switch over to the abort mode. So this is all about the different modes of the ARM processor and under which conditions the ARM processor will be switching to these particular different modes. So have you understood these mode concepts? So I'll just review by way of asking some questions. Let us see. So how many modes are there? ARM processor? Hello?
7.
See, your voice I am not able to hear properly. You raise your voice. Huh? How many modes are there?
7.
Okay, name the modes, please. I will help you in giving the answers because there's not. You can just take help of the screenshot or screen. What are the 7 modes?
Abort.
Yes.
Abort mode.
Yes, please go ahead.
Fast interrupt request mode.
Very good.
Interrupt request mode.
Yes.
Supervisor mode.
Very
System
good.
mode.
Uh,
User defined mode. User and undefined mode.
Undefined mode. And out of these, which is the which are the privileged modes? Which are the privileged modes?
6 privilege mode.
There are 6 privileged modes, only one non-privileged mode. So which is the non-privileged mode, you can say? User mode. So excluding user, all other modes are privileged modes. So what do you mean by privileged mode? In the privileged mode, what you can do, you can change the processor mode, you can change the processor status, you can disable or enable the interrupts. So these are called privileged tasks. So you can carry out these tasks only when you are in the privileged mode. So this is all about the different modes and different these things, states of ARM processor. So I think I will wind up the session. It's 27. You may have to join the other session. Thank you all for joining. So we will continue in the next class the rest of the things.
Okay, sir.